All right, we're going.
All right, yeah, we're back.
We were just talking.
Ask me what you asked me.
We were talking about, every time we talk about politics, I want to bring up race, which is legitimately a real thing.
It's a real thing.
But this guy just enlightened me, and we've been doing it for months now, of why we don't need to talk about race, even though it's important. But
that's not our only, we're not a one-trick pony.
Exactly.
Because if you get stuck on that one trick, and a lot of my family and friends that I love and respect, and you're right, I'm not saying you're wrong, you're right and you're in a righteous place.
Right.
I'm just not living there.
Right.
Because, you know, Martin Luther King, if I have to say his name, I won't say the whole name again, and Malcolm X, they lived there. They started there.
All the time.
They started there. And they both were about, it's a black thing, it's a white thing. Power to the people, we're repressed, we're being held down, we're being abused, we're being murdered in the streets, and it was all real. And it's still real. It's real today. Nobody's saying it's not real.
Just exactly, yeah.
But the reason why we're not living there, it's like, not to say it's not real, but to say that you can't fix the whole car if all you worry about is the tire.
Right.
You know, you can't put out the house fire if you stay in the garage.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, and that's a good way to put it. It's like, I'm not diminishing, but I'm saying, you know, race relations in America and the history of race in America is pretty much the garage.
Exactly.
The black part of it is the garage. It's not the whole house. And it's like, if you spend all your time on that garage, the house will burn to the ground with the garage. All right, I'll get off that. I'm just saying that Malcolm and Martin, they evolved over time. And so many people that I know and love and respect are fighting the same fight that they were fighting. Martin and Malcolm were fighting in their early days, in their young days.
Right.
Over time, they evolved. Martin evolved. And before he died, his last march was going to be a workers' march.
Right. That's why they killed him.
A workers' march. The people, the workers
White
against the man,
black.
white and black.
Poor
He was
people.
bringing the people together.
Middle class.
And Malcolm X, they even portrayed this in the movie, so that's how real you know it. When Denzel played Martin in the movie, Malcolm in the movie, where the white lady comes and says, "How can I help your movement, sir?"
You can't help me. And that's what happened.
And that's what happened in real life.
And we need these people. The point is, Black Lives Matter. The fight against Trump. Bernie supporters. Whatever. We need everybody. We were saying this a few weeks ago.
Global warming.
We need everybody to work together. We need to take those, not saying you can't do Black Lives Matter or Occupy Wall Street, but we all need to have, like what happened with the pipeline just recently. They had to have veterans go down there and they were like, uh-oh. They got other people fighting, and these are veterans. Uh-oh. We need other groups to come along and merge and all fight the entire system.
They changed the game.
To change everything. So when you do that, and we all come together, and we've been telling it forever, peaceful people forever, but like we all need to come together, but nobody's listening. But all these groups still fight your cause, but have other people from other groups helping that cause. You know, one person, they can change the world, but at the same time, you need allies. You need more people to come together, especially when it comes to race. Because we can't just have Black Lives Matter be all about just black people going, because it's like, what's going to happen then?
Yeah.
Look at those ends. I'm sorry, I won't say the word. Oh, God, look at them being violent. But they're just protesting. But they're just thugs. No, but if you get a bunch of white people in there and a bunch of Muslims, like, holy crap, what's going on here? There's everybody there. What's going on? Oh my God. You mean we could actually be united? We don't want that. What were you saying just 1 minute ago? The reason why there's division with race, it's not just about division with race.
Right.
It's more.
In early America,
yes,
Africans were brought here. Everybody knows that. And they were slaves. But so were the Irish.
Yes.
The Irish were brought here.
Yes.
And they were indentured servants.
Yes.
And they were treated just like the slaves.
And
they were side by side working until they died, until they got so fed up that they got together and they fought against the powers that be. The Irish and the Africans fought against the powers that be.
Right.
And that was the beginning of the white thing, the whiteness. Whiteness is not real. Nobody's white.
And nobody's black.
And nobody's
no
black.
such thing as race.
It was created in America to divide and conquer.
Hey.
And it has worked like gangbusters.
This guy, he's going to come in the middle of the night. He's my slave. And he's going to go over to your house. And he's going to steal your 3 cabbages. You only got 3. He's going to take them all and come back to the plantation. That's how this shit was just blown up crazy. Because how else would slavery be justified? You have to convince the poor white people who didn't have shit. Remember we just looked at that poster, but didn't have a pot to piss in. Do you know what the pot to piss in came from? Do you know why people had a pot to piss in? People used to pee in a pot and they would save it. You know why? Because they were so poor and they would sell it to the tannery. You know what a tannery is? It's to make leather. Because they would use urine to basically process the leather to make it into leather goods. So they would save their pee for like a week. We can go sell it and we can get some money. So you're so poor that you don't even have a pot to piss in.
And some people
that's
were
just
so
one little
poor.
silly thing. We're going on a tangent about that another time.
Yeah, some people were so poor they didn't have the pot to piss in.
Exactly.
So they can make a couple of bucks off their piss.
So that's how they had to finally, the man above, it's not just one person, but it's the system of how to control us.
Capitalism.
And to just basically, exactly, to convince everybody else, hey, it's okay. The Bible says it's okay. It's okay. They're less than you. Even you ain't got shit. Yeah. Well, you might as well go there if we're going to go there. That's the reason why we don't want to talk about race, but we do. But we want to make sure that when you talk about race, it has to include everybody. It's about classism. And
it's not a separation thing.
Exactly.
It's not a separation thing. When you talk about Black Lives Matter, you got to talk about the fight for 15. And it's like, and just pay attention in the future. Whenever you're watching the news.
Don't watch the news. But if you accidentally
some
watch
people
it,
do.
You trip and fall and the remote hits on the MSNBC. Oh, I guess I got to watch it now. Go ahead.
But
yeah.
they'll be telling a story, giving you a report on some tragedy in somebody's life.
Right.
And you'll be drawn in and you're interested and you're compelled and you're empathetic.
Yeah.
And then they go, black, something turns off.
Even in black people.
Something turns
There's
off.
racial bias in everybody, unfortunately. Because why, Michael? We've been taught it.
Right.
We've been taught this crap through our media, through the movies, through just stories or whatever. You know, whenever they interview somebody about what happened in the neighborhood. So what happened? Well, he came in the middle of the night with the guy with no half a tooth. They get the worst looking person.
All right, wait.
You know, Joe that is a hobo, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, he knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, I am Mike Jack reporting, and today a man was abused by 3 men brutally, and he was stabbed and kicked and stomped. Oh my God. Some man that happened to?
Yeah, he came over there and he went and
that wasn't the point I was going to make.
Exactly.
The point I was going to make is you hear a report about somebody being abused and you give a damn. And your heart goes out and you're like, that shouldn't happen to anybody. But if you hear the same report and they go, a black man was, hit in the head with a stick by a cop, immediately something turns on and you go, well, I guess he was asking for it. Well, what did he do wrong?
Right, because he was like, but...
Well, we didn't hear the whole story.
He was running away unarmed. Well, what did he do before that? That's not the fucking
exactly.
point.
A black man was shot 5 times in the back and then stabbed in the neck by a cop. Yeah, but he was... Well, what'd he do? But what'd he do?
Exactly. That's the racial bias.
Seriously? Seriously?
Yep.
What could you have possibly done to justify being shot in the back 5 times? Anyway.
All right. That was a pretty good rant.
Was it?
Good points. Yes. Good man. Now I'm going to leave this time. He's going to cut off. And he's going to do a big smile. 1, 2, 3, go.